This video is for anyone who owns any tools from DeWALT and wants answers. I'm going to show you how to get fast results on any question, problem, or concern. Getting straight answers from companies can be a time-consuming process. Talking to robots on the phone who pass you from one phone menu to the other with the sole purpose of you never finding an actual person to talk to. Well, I figured out a DeWALT information hack. Keep watching because I'm going to lay it out for you super simple. It all started with this jigsaw. I had been using it for about a year until I had realized there were these two slots and a threaded insert at the front of the jigsaw base. The saw did not come with any additional accessory that would fit in this slot. I figured it had to be some sort of edge guide or circle cutting jig. I searched over and over through the entire owner's manual and found nothing. So why would DeWALT sell a tool with features that it was hiding or not marketing for? This made no sense at all. Despite looking all over the internet for help, including DeWALT's own website and toolservicesnet.com, which is their website for questions about DeWALT tools and their other brands, I came up snake eyes, no help at all. One thing that I did notice at the bottom of DeWALT.com was a Contact Us hyperlink. I clicked on it and it allows you to send an email to DeWALT about any questions you might have. So I promptly sent them an email, and at some random time in the middle of the night, I heard back from Stephan Diaz. He asked me for all kinds of info about my tool that he didn't need, such as shipping address, phone number, tool model receipt, date code, photo of the receipt, and much more. I gave him everything he asked for, and several emails back and forth, I have determined that Stephan is just a bot, or at least just as helpful as a bot, because all he did was tell me to call Ideal Sawworks, which is in my area, and ask them. I really felt like we were having two very different conversations. Ideal Sawworks is a private business that is not owned by DeWALT. Their main business is sharpening. They will sharpen anything and everything from saw blades, router bits, knives, and anything with an edge. They also sell woodworking tools. In addition to that, they will service DeWALT tools. So I called Ideal Sawworks, and they were very nice and professional on the phone. I asked them about my jigsaw. The guy on the phone told me he didn't know the answer, but he told me
DeWALT buys some parts from other manufacturers for its tools that they don't actually make,
and speculated that maybe the jigsaw base has this feature that was just added on to the part that they were not concerned with. I didn't like this answer and didn't think DeWALT would be this careless with their products, to have a features that they simply ignored and had no marketing for or any real application. You see, at this point, I was less concerned about the actual benefit of what accessory went with the jigsaw and much more interested in solving the riddle. I was intrigued more by the hunt than actually the prey, to put it in other terms. And this is when I got some great info from the guy at Ideal Sawworks. I said, let me ask you this. When you have a question about DeWALT tools, who do you ask? Without hesitation, he said,
oh, I call this number, and then dial extension 0.
Now I was getting somewhere. So this number that I called was to a DeWALT service center. Let me make this clear to you right now. Not all DeWALT service centers are created equal. There are basically two different kinds of service centers. The first is just like Ideal Sawworks. They are an independent business who have contracted with DeWALT, so you can drop off your DeWALT tools so they can fix them or send them out for repair. They deal with warranty issues and can be a resource for answering DeWALT related questions. But as you can see, even they don't know all the answers and look to the other service center when they are stumped. These types of service centers are all over the United States and even outside of the US. In fact, on the DeWALT website, they tout that there are over 1,000 DeWALT authorized independent repair shops. What they mean is there are over 1,000 businesses, kind of like Ideal Sawworks. So that brings us to the other type of DeWALT service center. And there are only 19 of these service centers in the continental United States. There's 7 in Canada and over 70 in the world. Chances are there is not one within a convenient driving distance to most people, so that's where I come in to help. You see, this second DeWALT service center is actually owned by the company that owns DeWALT. That company is Stanley Black Decker Incorporated. They own a ton of companies, but you may be most familiar with DeWALT, Black & Decker, Porter Cable, and Craftsman, to name a few. When Ideal SawWorks doesn't know the answer, they call these guys. So how do you find out who is closest to you? Well, the numbers to the US 19 are right here. Just dial the number, and when the recording starts, press 0, and it will directly go to a person who can help you. Operators are standing by. And if you want to know what is the best way to find this list, then go to Google Maps and type in DeWALT Service Center. It will automatically filter out all of the independent contractors and only give you the Stanley Black Decker owned service centers, which are called DeWALT Factory Service or DeWALT Service Center. So back to my story. I called the number he gave me, and it was to the DeWALT Service Center in Sacramento, California. The problem is they actually told me the wrong answer when I spoke with them on the phone. The gentleman I spoke with told me to purchase this edge guide right here. I don't know if we had some miscommunication, but this is the edge guide that goes to the circular saws, not the jigsaws. So instead of calling them back, I just called another DeWALT Service Center in Ontario, California, and spoke with Rebecca. She actually didn't know the answer either, but really invested time into figuring it out. She contacted one of their service centers in Texas who happened to have a Black & Decker jigsaw edge guide. Had them send it to her in California just to try to see if it fit the jigsaw. You see, Black & Decker and DeWALT are both owned by the same company, so it kind of made sense. She then called me back and told me it was a perfect fit. She told me I was their guinea pig and offered to send the edge guide to me for free. Rebecca doesn't know I have a YouTube channel, and DeWALT is not sponsoring this video. But I will say this about Rebecca: she deserves a raise. Her customer service is amazing, and she really went above and beyond. I hope the DeWALT executives see this video and give her the proper praise she deserves. This was just a simple edge guide, but I decided not to give up because I quickly realized that this was a valuable experience worth sharing to anyone who uses DeWALT tools. But not just DeWALT, but the other tool companies Stanley Black & Decker own as well. In this video description, I will leave a directory of all the DeWALT service centers in the US and Canada. If you live outside of those two countries, then you can search in and near your country as well by using Google Maps. I'll also leave a link for the edge guide that I was sent and a variety of DeWALT tools that I like to use. These are affiliate links that you can click on. Any purchase you make will send a small commission to Dude Sawdust at no extra charge to you. If you have a DeWALT related question and you want to talk to the expert of the experts, call one of the DeWALT service centers that are not independent contractors. If you are not satisfied with the answer, then just call another one. There are like over 70 options to choose from, and I'm sure you will find your own Rebecca. On Dude Sawdust, I have a variety of woodworking and home improvement related videos, and I even have one that I picked out just for you right here. You are not going to want to miss out, so click on this video right here. See ya!